Hey everyone, Danny Hogger here with my Masters of Arts in Teaching blog. If you want to know more about the program that I'm enrolled in, please go to sdcc.edu. The content is sponsored, but the thoughts are my own. This is the desk that I've done just about all my work on in the last 6 months, working towards my Masters of Arts degree, taking classes, doing homework, and talking to people, and that's what I'm doing today. I have 3 comments from my response from last week's blog about how I've created a teacher podcast, the Hogger History podcast, to allow my students an extra chance to review, and I was talking about how collaborative this program is online. And so here's some thoughts from my fellow students who are going to tell me their feedback on what I'm doing for my action research. First comment is from Morgan. Morgan's been super helpful and responsive. We've written almost every week for almost a year. And she says, how awesome that you are making your own podcast. Listening to podcasts is one of my favorite things to do. I always have one playing while I'm driving. I've also been thinking about adding them to my ELA classes. It's a great way to spice things up. Morgan, I totally agree. It's really fun, and it's transitioning to be less me and more students as well. As you get those students who are involved or wanting to do more, or if you're a teacher that offers extra credit, or someone that assigns projects and is tired of reading the essays or wants them to develop their oral communication skills, a podcast assignment is a way of having them prepare materials, deliver it in an entirely different way that's more engaging, more fun, and they listen to podcasts too, so it is a wonderful way to mix things up and spice things up, and I encourage any teacher to go out and do it. I mean, if you have a microphone for $30 or $40 at home, or you can acquire one, or have one donated from school or parents, if you have a way to do that, it's a pretty light investment for a huge payoff, something that you can use over and over again. And there are a number of podcast tools, for example, podbean.com. They don't sponsor me in any way, but they have donated bandwidth in the past, and they have free programs. So they're pretty cool for just getting involved and getting your feet wet in the medium. The next comment right under Morgan's was from David, who said, I agree that other teachers might see your extra work and success as a threat to their own allotted work time. I hadn't thought about it that way. Resentment and jealousy are very human qualities that we should all fight against. Whenever I get these feelings, I remember Chuck Norris's code of conduct. We got a Chuck Norris quote here. Code number 6 states, I will always be enthusiastic about the success of others as I am about my own. I think you should ignore this challenge of possible resentment and push on to greater goals. That's good advice, David. I appreciate the thoughts and comments, and also I just think it's really nice to be able to hear people encourage each other to be encouraging to others, right? It can be maybe daunting to see other people start to rise up, or hear students talk positively about a teacher who's new when you've been maybe doing that for decades. And I'm a collaborator. I want to bring all teachers involved. In fact, I've interviewed teachers like Joshua Colley from my school on Inspiring Teachers, which you can see the green banner in the background. I've interviewed Todd Weinert, and I've invited people from my new realm, my new school, to come and be a part of this thing with me, to share in all kinds of experiences with me. And I think that's a great piece, and I would not have expected a Chuck Norris quote to come into this. We've had a lot of biblical quotes from since we're a Christian college that I am taking my classes from. We've heard a lot of inspiration from many people, but that's a first. Third comment for today that we'll talk about is from Martin. First time interacting with Martin, I think. I understand your concern about fearing that some teachers will feel pressure to also produce similar podcasts because of your project's success. As an older teacher and someone who is technology challenged in many ways, this would be difficult for me to implement, but your project sounds awesome. So overall positive, right? And that's kind of a cool thing that's a takeaway from this program too. Your ideas may be awesome, and they're yours, and mine may also be awesome. And by having teachers at school who are trying lots of different things, students are the ones that benefit from this variety of programming, this variety of lesson planning, and a variety of energetic teachers. So thank you so much, Martin. It kind of shows you a synopsis, too, of what it's been like interacting with other teachers online at San Diego Christian College, and that there's lots of different belief systems, values, encouragement, and motivation go all around for all of those values, and for kind of respect that we have for each other, that we all know that we've been through now a road of education, training, literacy, development, and awareness of our students. And these student-centered classrooms and teachers who are focused on making them are really building a variety of professional settings based now on more research, more theory because of our master's program, and based on already who we are as people in our hearts. That's kind of cool, isn't it? That in just 3 comments from 3 students, I feel more aware of what I'm doing, what people around me at school may be feeling about what I'm doing, and how I can invite them in, encourage each other's human qualities, avoid resentment, and practice a collaborative implementation of improvements in the classroom. That's pretty neat. That, I think, summarizes very well what it's like being in our program for just 1 week. If you want to learn more, go to sdcc.edu for more information. I'm Danny Hogger, thanking you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.